back to BNC, everyone. You may not even realize it, but there's only one woman to ever be drafted into the NBA. Lucia Harris died yesterday at the age of 66 in her native Mississippi. After her college career, the New Orleans Jazz selected her in the 7th round of the NBA draft. Harris was also the first black woman to be enshrined into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame back in 1992. She was also inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in 1999. Joining us now to discuss her career is Ron Foxcroft, CEO of Fox 40. Ron is a distinguished Canadian entrepreneur and the inventor of the NBA's P-less whistle, and he's a longtime champion of diversity and inclusion in Canada, and he also works with the NBA. He joined us now from Burlington, Ontario, to share fond memories of seeing her on the courts there. Welcome to BNC, Ron.
It's my pleasure, Laverne. And yes, Lucy Harris was an icon in sport, and she played in the Olympics in 1976, amongst other teams, other accomplishments. But I was involved in the Olympics also in 1976. And women's basketball, it was a very historic Olympics because it was the first time ever women's basketball was being played in the Olympics. And I went there to be a referee and fortunately had the distinct pleasure to referee the Olympic men's gold medal game, USA against Yugoslavia. But when I wasn't refereeing, I went and watched basketball games. In particular, because the women were there for the first time in the Olympics, I went to watch the USA play and saw this great athlete, Lucy Harris, 6'3". Obviously, Laverne, she was the sturdy cornerstone of an amazing United States Olympic basketball team in Montreal.
That's incredible. But I have to ask you, do you think women should play in the NBA?
You know what, Laverne? I'll tell you, in watching Lucy play, she was terrific, and she had great skill, great shot, great hands, great footwork. But also, what I recognized when I saw her play, she inspired her teammates to be better, and that's the true attribute of a leader, to inspire your teammates to get better, like Michael Jordan did, like Oscar Robertson did, and so on. And that was an amazing team. Pat Summitt, who went on to coach at Tennessee, Nancy Lieberman, it was Ann Myers, and also too, Lucy scored the very first basket in the women's Olympic basketball, and that's a record that will never be broken. Since then, I have to answer your question. Women's basketball is absolutely incredible. If you watch it at the high school level, the college level, and in particular, the WNBA. And if we ever play back this interview, I'm going to make a prediction. I think, other than Lucy, who got drafted to play in the NBA in 1977, I think because of the incredible skill of women playing basketball today, in particular at the WNBA, we are going to see a woman playing basketball in the NBA with men and against men because their skill level is absolutely incredible.
Wow, that's exciting. That's a great prediction, Ron. Some people not realize that Canada has great roots when it comes to basketball, and you do in particular, too, with your whistle.
Absolutely. The game of basketball, a lot of people don't realize this, was invented by a Canadian, James Naismith, in Canada, Ontario. And also the whistle that's used in, I would say, every basketball game played in the world today was invented in Canada. It's called the Fox 40. It's a P-less whistle. And the reason we invented the Fox 40 whistle was in the Olympics, in the gold medal game, Adrian Dantley, who played at Notre Dame, got hit in the nose. There was blood all over the place, a broken nose. And I was in the trail position as the referee, and my whistle with the little P got stuck. And at that time, I said to myself, somebody's got to invent a whistle, in particular, a P-less whistle that won't fail. And we did. And now we have the Fox 40 whistle. It's made in Canada. We sell 15,000 whistles a day in 140 countries around the world. It's used for safety, military, police, search and rescue, lifeguards, and in just about every sport played on the planet.
That's amazing. Well, you've got some great memories of seeing her play, and you have so many stories to share. Unfortunately, we can't hear all of them. But Ron, of course, you're a Toronto Raptors guy, so I have to ask you real quick about that.
Yeah, I'm the replay coordinator for the NBA, and I work on the replays and all the Toronto Raptor home games, and it's very exciting. The one thing I don't want to leave this without telling you, Lucy Harris was an incredible person, an incredible basketball player. And that United States team was an amazing basketball team. They won the silver medal, and they played against Russia, who had a 7'2" center. If you could imagine, Laverne, 7'2" center in women's basketball. Also, your viewers will appreciate Alex Ovechkin's mother, Alex Ovechkin, to the National Hockey League, the Washington team. His mother played for Russia in the Olympics in 1976, and they faced United States in the gold medal game. United States, with an incredible team, won the silver medal, and Lucy Harris was, no question, the star of the United States team in 1976 at the Olympics.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing those stories. We appreciate you doing that with us today. Canadian businessman Ron Foxcroft, thanks so much for joining us here on the Black News Channel.